This film is so French, the main actress's name is France. Sometimes the jokes write themselves. Hey everyone, it's me, Aaron.
And I'm Michelle.
And this is Thorgiween, where we're reviewing a horror film every single day, all month long. And this is International Horror Week, in which we are not just reviewing a horror film all week long. Every single day is a horror film from a different country. And today we are going to France for High Tension, a film that when it came out in 2003, people were raving about this. They were saying that this thing was so bold and new and incredible and so chilling. And I remember watching it about 2005, 2006, and I loved it. I thought it was great. And now everyone says this film is crap. I don't know what happened, but opinions have very soured on this. And
this is my first time watching it, and I'm like, yeah, this is very early 2000s.
Oh my God, yeah. This is my first time watching it since 2005 or 2006. Holy cow. This is like the yearbook photo of horror films where I look back at it and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe we used to wear that. Except that rather than clothes, it's gray tones and neon lights and just quick shots and just rock music. Not neon lights. What's like fluorescent lighting?
Oh,
like
floodlights?
Floodlights. Well, a little bit of that.
Lens flares?
No, it's that lighting that they had in grunge films of the 90s and 2000s where the darks were darks and the whites were just white. You will recognize it if you watch this film. You'll be like, oh, that lighting. Got it. Yeah, this thing, there's one shot in here where suddenly it goes from our main character Marie's point of view to showing like the killer downstairs. And out of nowhere, the camera decides to just start booking its ass off down the stairs. And there's no other shots like that in the entire film. Just all of a sudden, it was like, oh, right, this thing was made in the early 2000s. We have to show that off. But yeah, there are a lot of, even though movies are really what bring us all together. Because even though this was made in France, there's a lot of stuff in here that's like, man, that is universal early 2000s filmmaking right there. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter where you're from, this is it. But we should go ahead and actually talk about the premise of this. This film stars two girls, Marie and Alex. And it's, okay, they're clearly like an item with each other. Or they were an item. This is the part that has always confused me because in the beginning, Marie makes a joke about Alex dumping her, but they're going to see Alex's parents for the weekend. And I have always wondered, was that a joke that Marie made about her dumping her, or did she actually dump her and now they're just friends? And Alex is like, hey, come and hang out at my place for the weekend over at my parents' place. Or are they, basically what I'm trying to say is, was that a joke that they broke up, or are they still, was that a joke that they broke up and they're still an item, or did they actually break up and they're now friends? I can never tell that.
Like, I guess I kind of misread the subtitles because I thought, like, Marie broke up with another guy.
Oh, maybe I completely misread that.
I don't know. Maybe we both misread it.
Maybe, who knows?
But either way, Marie...
We're good film critics, everybody. You did not come to us for a professional opinion. You came to us because you just enjoy having us on in the background.
But, like, Marie breaking up with Alex would make more sense in this movie without giving away spoilers.
Yeah, because there are definitely, like, it does not take you long to realize Marie has feelings for Alex. Like, that's one of the reasons why I look at that and it's like, okay, are you two actually a couple? Or, because that's the other thing, maybe they never actually dated in the past.
Yeah.
And maybe Marie has just always pined for Alex, and that was her, like, making a little joke about them being really good friends with each other.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought, too.
Okay, maybe that's what it was.
Maybe, because, like, once again, early 2000s, so queer people were not very open back then.
It was... Yeah, I remember in 2005, 2006, whenever I watched this, when I was like, oh, wow, there's actually, like, a lesbian couple. in a film. That's, wow. I can't think of the last time I saw that. That's all right. Good for you. These days, that is more of a common thing. But yeah, that was very groundbreaking at this point in time.
Yeah.
Anyway, as it goes on, Marie is going to Alex's parents for the weekend. And what was I going to say here? Okay, yes. So she meets them and they get along fine, meets her mom, her dad, her little brother, their big dog, and then they go to bed that evening and they're sleeping in different rooms. But again, I'm not going to go into too many details, but you see Marie is pining for Alex, like she is thinking about her. But then this mysterious man shows up to the front door and he proceeds to kill everyone. Just kills the whole family and then takes Alex, puts her in the truck.
Yeah, everyone except Alex. And he did not realize that Marie was there.
Yeah. And throws Alex into the truck and Marie has to follow along. And from there, it becomes a story of, okay, can Marie find a way to save Alex? And I know I use this word way too often, but it's in the title of the film. This is a very tense film. This is a film of survival. This is a film of it's kind of the horror movie version of David and Goliath, because you get the sense that this guy is big and powerful. Like the way that he takes out the dad. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That was one of those like, oh my God, who thought of that? And the amount of force you would have to apply to do that. I'm not going to spoil it, but the amount of force you would have to use to do that is insane. So yeah, this guy just immediately comes off. Like, it feels like a horror game where it's the one-shot enemy, where if it sees you, you're instantly dead.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a whole lot of hiding and waiting for the right moment, making sure that you never get caught, because that is something that this film does incredibly well. It gives you that feeling of, if the villain finds you, you are dead. This isn't Jason Voorhees, where if he finds you, you can start running your ass off and maybe get away. Not Michael Myers, where you can run to the neighbor's house. This guy gives you the feeling like he is everywhere and he will take you out. And I think they do that incredibly well. Like, there's one moment in which they get to a gas station and Marie goes in there and tries to warn the guy, listen, you gotta call the cops, somebody's coming. And then the guy walks into the gas station and Marie is just hiding there. And the entire time he has this conversation with the guy at the gas station. And man, you just get the sense he could kill everyone in here at any moment.
Like, honestly, I thought like they were friends because
yes,
he knows he
knows the guy's name.
Yeah, the store owner's name, or like the store who.
Like,
his Jimmy,
how's things going tonight, Jimmy? Which is a great moment because Marie comes in first and tries to warn the guy about, and then when he comes in, it's revealed that, oh, he knows the guy by name. It makes you kind of feel like, oh shit, the store guy isn't going to listen to her because he knows this guy. But no, the store guy is also acting like, hey, like he's very freaked out too. And the way that the killer is acting around him, it also gives you that feeling like he also knows, oh, Jimmy's not quite right this evening. So immediately within seconds, Jimmy is now on our side of like, oh shit, yeah, don't do anything because this guy will kill you in an instant. Yeah, it's amazing to me how they were able to keep up. And it's just some guy in a hat. Just some guy in like
trucker clothes.
Trucker clothes, yeah. It's like he's got like his work uniform on and a hat, and that's it. And it's just some old guy in there. He looks like the most average dude. He's not walking around with like a mask on or anything. He's just some guy. But they are able to shoot him in a way that makes him feel like he is the Terminator. Like if you burned his flesh off, there'd be a metal exoskeleton underneath that thing. It's incredible how they shoot him. And one of the ways in which they do that, I said, it's just some guy in a hat. That's because every time that you see him, yeah, you never see his eyes. It's so well shot. They just got that shade over his eyes the entire time because it makes him, even though he's just wearing normal ass clothes, it makes him feel like he is something else. That is not a normal person in there because that is I can't see. The eyes are the window to the soul. You can't see that. You never get a sense that this is a human being because you never see that very crucial part in there. In fact, when he goes into the gas station, what's the first thing that he does in the gas station?
Puts on sunglasses.
Yeah. He's having a conversation. The first time he said anything in the entire film, it should be that moment where like, oh, this is a human being now. First thing he does, he takes sunglasses off the rack, puts them on. How do these make me look? And then he keeps the sunglasses on the whole time because they do not want you, the audience, to see his eyes. It's really well shot. But also there's something else that I will say that makes him just monstrous, which is, this one came out in 2003. I don't know when the first Saw came out. It was around that same time because I know Saw recently had its 20th anniversary. So Saw was around this same time. But you go back and you watch that first Saw, it's actually not that bloody. It's not that brutal. Saw took several installments before it got like, Saw, the first Saw film was just a crime thriller. That's all it is. So for 2003, this was one of the most brutal, graphic horror films I had ever seen. I remember when I watched this and I was stunned. Now, I've definitely seen a bunch of other horror films that get as brutal and graphic, but there are fountains of blood in this thing. And a lot of other times in which I have seen horror films that would have like that much blood spraying, it would almost be played for laughs, like, Evil Dead. That's one of those films that, you'll have a spray of blood, but it's meant to be like, Bruce Campbell's getting splashed by blood. Here, it's graphic and painful when they do that. And poor Alex, I don't think I've ever seen a horror movie character who is just freaking out as much as Alex is. Alex does not come off like horror movie protag. Alex the entire time feels like somebody who is just suffering. You can feel how panicked and frightened she is at almost. That actress is working her ass off. So yeah, this film, I think that it does genius stuff with, I don't want to use the word again, but again, it's in the freaking title, the tension. The way in which they make you, the audience, be like, this guy is unstoppable. He will take out anyone. He is, like I said, there's a kid in here who gets taken out. Like
10-year-old or something?
Something like that.
Maybe even younger.
This guy does not give a crap. The way in which they make just average working Joe serial killer just play out.
Yeah, he even strangles the dog. So.
Yeah, it's... Which, again, normally I'd be like, oh, should we be spoiling this stuff? I was like, no, that happens instantly the second this dude shows up. And even with us telling you, you're not going to be prepared for what you actually see. But the way in which they film Alex and Marie just being so terrified of this guy, it makes you feel helpless. And the way in which, you've probably seen the poster for this thing of Marie holding a big circle saw. She's got the short hair, she's got the tank top, and she's holding a big circle saw. She's meant to be like a badass on that poster. She has her badass transformation where she decides, screw this, I'm going to go after the guy. And it's great watching her get to that point.
Yeah, and it's like, she does make mistakes, but it's not like, oh, you idiot, how could you? It's more like, yeah, I would probably make the same mistake too if I was in that situation.
You never look at her and be like, oh, me, audience man, no more than person in film. No. Yeah, it's very relatable. It's a very relatable protagonist, I feel, because she acts human throughout all this. Yeah, when she's terrified, you, the audience, are terrified. When she's willing to fight back, you, the audience, are willing to fight back. I think they do a great job with that. There is a twist at the end of this. And I remember the first time I saw this, I thought the twist was incredible. My mind was blown. But I think that might be the reason why this film got a lot of praise in the beginning, and now people have turned on this.
Yeah.
I don't think people like the twist now.
Yeah.
What do you, as somebody who has seen this the first time now in 2025, how do you feel about it?
It did not age well. Like,
Okay.
I feel like if I did see this originally back in the 2000s, I'd be like, oh, or some, oh, that is quite a surprise or something like that.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh.
There's a couple of reasons for that. Yeah. There's a couple of reasons for that. Oh, and one of them is it's one of those things that where when you look back at, I think there's going to be some people that when they look back at it are like, well, that doesn't really make sense. I think it still makes sense. I still think it does. I can't go into more details about that until we get to the spoiler part of this review. But yeah, I think it still makes sense. But I can see how, in order for it to make sense, you gotta do some mental gymnastics.
Yeah.
You gotta flip and dip all over the place on that one a little bit. But I still think it works. Yeah, it's one where I can't say any more about.
Unless we go into spoilers. Do you want to get into spoilers?
We'll get into spoilers in a second, but I will say, I do remember the first time I saw this in the mid-2000s, I was blown away by that twist. And it stuck with me hard. Watching it now, I did appreciate watching it now, knowing the twist, looking at it, being like, oh, okay, so that and this, and okay, like, I'm tying some stuff together here. I'm seeing how it's working out. But at the end, maybe it's because I knew the twist was coming. Maybe it's because I've had 20 years since then to kind of like think about it. But yeah, it did not hit me like it originally did. And I'm not gonna lie, when we were watching this together, I was half expecting you to be like, what? Like I was like, when we get to the reveal, I really want to see your expression. And I looked over and you're just like you seemed unfazed by it.
It's like, I think because at this point, a lot of other horror movies did very similar twists.
Yeah.
And also because, I guess I'll get into
the spoiler. Yeah. If you have doubts, don't spoil it. Let's get to our actual score in here. I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I probably do the same thing. Like, I don't know how I would feel if I did see this originally back 20 years ago.
I think I would have given it like a 9 out of 10 back then when I first saw this. But now, yeah, I will say like, okay, this thing is a lot more basic than I remember it being. The twist isn't as good as I remembered it being. It's definitely shown some age, so that's why I'm bumming it down. I'm knocking it down to a 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'll give it a 7 too.
All right, fair enough.
I mean, not to undermine like the effects or the acting or anything like that, but as far as like horror movies go, like obvious versus general movie.
General movies.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, we're judging horror films as horror films.
Yes,
exactly. Yeah, this is one of those. I remember back when I first saw this, it would be like, maybe not in my top 10 favorite horror films, but definitely in my top 20. Now I'm like, it'd probably make top 100. It might be in the top 100. It'd be in the 90s. But yeah, I still do think this is a good film. That's why we gave it a 7. But yeah, it does not have the impact that it used to. And again, part of that could be because I know it. I've seen it. And
I think another part of it is, wow, this is very 2000s.
Yes. It's when I separate myself from that decade by two decades. Yeah, it's like, oh wow, yeah, okay. There are moments where this feels like a Linkin Park music video.
Also, like you know, it's the 2000s because there's no internet and no cell phones.
Yeah,
but it also because like their family is literally in the country, like where there's like no
It would be interesting seeing how this could possibly be done today. It could be done. It could still be done. I don't think that cell phones would mess anything up too much.
Yeah, but I think it would be like, oh, I'm not getting in reception out here kind of thing.
Yeah, probably something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the moment when she goes to the gas station, like, we even get like a moment of her trying to call for help and like nothing happens. So it's like, yeah, it's one of those where, yeah, I don't think that would bother it too much. But yeah. Anyway, let's go into the actual spoiler stuff. And I know that there have been many times on this show where we've gone spoiler territory and it's been like, that really wasn't that important, Tom. Like, you didn't need to do a spoiler section for that. Holy shit. Holy cow. This thing is known for two things. One, it is the brutality of it and the tension of the big killer himself. And I think that still holds up very, very well. The other thing it's known for is the twist. Holy crap. There's really nothing else to talk about other than that twist. I'm like, yeah, this is a fairly straightforward, like everything that we talked about before, it all applies.
Yeah, it's
Here's the twist. Oh, well, I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, like, it checks off all the stuff you expect from a horror movie, and then we get to the twist.
Yes. So, the twist is Marie ends up killing the killer. She takes him out. Hooray, the day is saved. This is after the killer has murdered the guy at the gas station, and then Maria's like, screw it. She gets the keys from the guy at the gas station, gets in his car, races after that guy, and then he gets there, she has the fight, she ends up killing him, saving the day, and then we cut back to the gas station. The cops have now arrived.
Yeah, and they're looking at the security
footage, and then they see the gas station attendant going around, turns back around, and then Marie runs up and hits him with the axe and kills him. And then Marie unhooks Alex, and Alex says, "Get the fuck away from me," and starts threatening to stab her. There was no killer. I mean,
well, there was, but it was our protagonist.
Marie, the protagonist, was the killer. She has split personalities.
I kind of expected that because of the dream sequence in the beginning.
What, now that I know, watching it this time, knowing about that dream sequence, I was like, holy shit, you just explained the plot of the film.
Yeah, like, we didn't mention it in the non-spoiler section, but, like, in the very, very beginning, like, opening credits, like, Marie has a dream where she's, like, running away from someone, and that someone is her. And I'm like, wow, that's going to come up later.
Watching this now, I mentioned that looking back on, there were things I was like, oh, this is how this works, this is how this works, this is how I'm casting shadows behind it. I'm like, oh, this is how this works, this is how this works. Okay, all right, I'm seeing, all right, yeah. That's the one in which I was like, oh, damn, maybe take that out.
Yeah, a little bit too on
that's
the
a little
nose.
too on the nose. Like,
yeah.
What I was referring to was stuff like, oh, her window was open and she can see below her where the murderer is coming in to the front door. I'm like, oh, she hops out that window, goes down there as the murderer. Is like, I see how that works. This one, I'm like, oh, crap.
Yeah, because, like,
you just explained the plot of the film in the opening sequence.
But, like, there are some sequences where it doesn't make sense that it's, like, the same person.
Like I said, you have to do some mental gymnastics.
Yeah, like, the part where she gets out of the gets to the gas station and, like, tries to get help but doesn't. Marie stays at the gas station, but the killer drives off, and you're like, wait, how? If this is one person, how is she there but also in the car at the same time?
That's the biggest one of them all, and the explanation for it is simply, the killer didn't drive off, and then she called the cops for help, and then she got the gas guy's car and drove after him. The explanation is, she called the cops, had that whole exchange, then she got in the car and drove off, and or then she got in the truck and drove off, and nobody took the car, which maybe I missed it, but it would have been great if there was a shot when the police arrived at the gas station of the gas station guy's car still there.
Yeah, like,
maybe I missed it, but that would have been a great tell early on.
Maybe it was, but it was like off screen.
Yeah, maybe it was like way back.
Way in the corner of the screen, something like that. But like, yeah, that part did not. Or like
after they see the security camera footage and see that it's actually Marie, they then look out there in the direction of where the car drove off, and they see his car still there or something like that. So yeah, you can still explain it, but the explanation is there's a whole lot going on that's just in her head. Yeah, it's like I said, mental gymnastics. And that's when we get into the twist of it. That's when we have to talk about, like, is the twist effective? I remember it really affecting me back in the 2000s because I was just blown away by, like, holy crap, really? Oh man, I cannot believe this. And maybe, like, again, you've never seen this. So you say you have the feeling that you kind of got a sense of it early on. You kind of had a sense that maybe that's what was going on. But did it work for you at all? Let me ask that.
Kind of. Like...
Let me rephrase it a different way. Would the film have been better if there was no twist and she just had the big final showdown with the killer and killed him? Or do you think it's better with that twist thrown in there?
I feel like if there was an actual killer and Marie did save the day, I'd be like, oh, that's not much of a horror movie, but it was very exciting. It lives up to its name, high tension.
Yes.
But because of the twist, I was like very, like I said, this was made in the 2000s. I feel like if I saw this originally back in the 2000s, I'd be like, oh wow, that's quite a twist. And now it's like, oh, that's quite a twist.
So, okay, yeah. I'm asking you to do some mental gymnastics on this one, yes.
Yeah. So I did not like the twist.
Okay. Let me put you simply like this. There's a big red button and says, remove the twist from the movie. Would you hit it?
I don't know, because the twist is what kind of makes this movie, but at the same time, the twist also outdates this movie.
Okay, yeah. Do you mean outdates as in other films have done similar stuff at this point, so it's not really special? Or do you mean outdates as in, like, I don't know, maybe it becomes, like, offensive or anything?
Yeah, I feel like this movie is homophobic and ableist.
It feels a little like...
it feels like it's like, making, like, people with multiple personality disorder and queer people to be the bad guys.
It's very...
So, because, like, literally, Marie kills everyone that's supposed to be between her and Alex, so that's the family.
It's very... I don't quite want to use this term. It's very yandere. It is very obsessive, you will be mine and only mine kind of thing, and I feel, like I said, I applaud this film when I first saw it in the 2000s because we did not get a lot of LGBTQ representation in films. But watching it now, it kind of makes me feel like I don't think they're really displaying this in a positive light.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I definitely did not feel comfortable after realizing what the twist is. I'm like, this is disappointing, but this is very of the time.
It's one of those where I'm like, okay, when I watched it in the 2000s, it did kind of feel like, oh, hey, it's all right. It did kind of feel like there's an old Eddie Murphy joke in which he talked about how if you haven't had sex in a really long time and then you have really bad sex, it's the equivalent of giving a starving man a saltine cracker. He's going to be like, oh, that's the best cracker I've ever had in my life. Oh, was that Ritz? Oh, man. Oh, it's so good. That's kind of how I felt watching this in the 2000s.
Yeah, there was, like, no representation.
There was none!
So, like, any representation, so even bad representation.
Again, I was like, oh, how good for them to do some of this. Now these days, watching it, when I am not starving for a saltine cracker, I'm just kind of like, oh, dude.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't even know if they meant it in that way. That's the thing. I don't even want to wag my finger at the filmmakers because I don't think they meant it negatively. I think they're like, we're just going to have a love story about these two women in there, but also it's a horror movie and one of them's a murderer. And it's like, okay, well, she's not just like a murderer, she's a murderer specifically because she is so obsessed with her friend. Excuse me. And that obsession is the driving force of her, like, being a killer. And it is like, oh, that makes it very wrong. Like, it's not, because that's the thing. It's not like I'm even coming in here and I'm being like, you can't just play an LGBTQ character as being like the monster in your horror film. I'm not even saying that.
Yeah, but like, if the reason why they are the killer is because they are queer, then that's really,
yeah,
icky, very icky.
Yeah.
But like, because I'm like in present day and not like in my 2000s head mode, I thought that the ending twist would be that Alex confesses her love to Marie also. Like, basically, you know, like,
wait, okay, before you saw what the actual twist was.
Yes. Okay, I thought like she was gonna, you know, get the killer and like rescue Alex, and that's when she's gonna like confess her love for her. And then I thought like Alex would also feel the same way, because, you know, the movie's called High Tension, and it's like, what could be more high tension than confessing your love?
Romance, yes.
Yes, especially during the 2000s, and you're in love with someone who's the same gender as you.
Yes, yes.
And I feel like that was because of that, like, the man, the killer is a man, and I'm like, oh, the killer is a man because of heteronormativeness. Because
he's stealing her because they have to be together.
Yes,
kind of thing.
Yes. Like, the man kidnaps the woman because he wants her, and the women can't have other women. So, like, I thought that was what it was representing, but nope.
Yeah, it is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Listen, we're doing international horror films this week. There's gonna be some stuff in which we come across and it's like, well, maybe that's just in their culture, so we have to kind of like understand it. This is one where we're like, nah.
Nope. That's not a culture thing. That's an early 2000s thing.
That's just, you didn't know, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the thing that I'll say about this film. This is the big driving force of this thing, I will say, still makes it a big positive. If you have a college paper that you need to write about LGBTQ representation in horror films, man, did you just find your spotlight? Did you just find the thing you're going to base your entire thesis around with this thing? But man, for everybody else out there,
it kind of raises the question, is bad representation better than no representation at all? That's
a question that maybe we'll have had for the longest time.
Yeah.
I don't really know if we're the best people to be talking about that.
Yeah. But it's like, not just like for gender, but like for
any group out there.
Like basically any group that's
it's a discussion that many people have had. And again, we're not the people to be making that argument. But yeah, it's the real shame of it is, again, I think if you just wanted to have a slasher film, I think that before you get to that twist, this is a really good slasher film. I think it handles that incredibly well. But man, that twist has not aged well.
No.
So yeah, Hoo boy. So that's all we're going to say about this, unless you got anything else you want to add.
Nope.
I think we've sufficiently put our foot in our mouths enough times.
Yeah, like I said, this is very 2000s in more ways than one.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah, when you start off by saying this is very 2000s, like, I know what you're going for. We're going to save that for the spoiler part.
Yeah, I knew we were going to have to save it for the spoiler part, but like... Once again, early 2000s, also because of the technology and everything.
Well, I'm thinking editing. This thing is edited like early 2000s.
Yeah.
There is a specific look that editing had from that time period, and this has it. so many films from that point in time felt like they were about to break out into a Korn music video. And there are moments in here in which in which you can almost hear the blah, doo, ba, 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 blah, just start kicking in.
Yeah. Only we got like French pop music or something.
The music actually kind of kicked ass in here. I gotta be honest with you, music kicks a ton of ass in this film. It's a shame. We have a friend named Becca who I know would dig the shit out of the music in here. And yet, I'm just like, out of all the people we know, she'd probably be the most offended by that twist. So,
yeah, so
although
we will just recommend the music, the soundtrack.
Look at the soundtrack.
Yes.
If you like Muse, there is an awesome track from Muse in here that I don't even know if it's on one of their albums. So, anywho, that's it for High Tension, everybody. We are done with France. Tomorrow, we are going to be moving on to South Korea with a film that's been on my bucket list for the longest time. The Wailing. See you then, everybody.
Bye.